Are you itching to help people lose weight, manage bloat, improve their relationship with food, run faster, or solve another problem with nutrition coaching? Do you want to run this coaching business online, but people around you are super skeptical that you can even make this happen? If you answered yes to any of these questions, watch this video so you can learn how to validate your idea, grow your following by thousands, attract clients who want to pay you money, pay you your worth, and prove doubters wrong like Dr. Kira Diop over here. Well, you're gonna need to do 3 things, okay? Embrace your message, conduct market research frequently because you want to make sure you're improving your social media content so it truly attracts your ideal client, and you're going to want to embrace imperfection. In this video, I'll walk you through all 3 in detail so by the end, you'll be able to optimistically move forward and reach your money goals faster. And for more of the best tips and advice for starting and growing your online nutrition practice, be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Hello and welcome to the Dietitian Boss YouTube channel. My name is Ya. I'm an RD2B, Dietitian Boss podcast co-host, and Dietitian Boss method instructor. The Dietitian Boss program empowers dietitians and nutritionists to create their private practice from scratch and emboldens already established practitioners to think bigger. The Dietitian Boss method provides a step-by-step process to improve how you market yourself on social media so you can become far more profitable and help more people. All right, let's dive into the first piece, embracing your message. When you start your online nutrition private practice, I know it can feel wildly uncomfortable to start selling yourself and sharing your nutrition message with the internet, but it's really important that you start embracing that discomfort and you start to remove yourself from the space of, oh my God, I can't help people, to you've invested your time, your money into your nutrition education, and there are millions of people that are looking for services that you offer, and you owe it to them to show up after investing so much time into your education, seriously. And that is what Dr. Kira Diop had to do as well. Kira is a passionate nutritionist who works with Black women who have been struggling with feelings of guilt and shame around their eating habits, and she helps them build healthy relationships with their food and empowers them to respect their bodies and move away from diets. Kira believes that food is not only fuel for our bodies, but it's also our heritage and tradition. Kira brings together her nutrition expertise and her multicultural background, which is diverse, African, Caribbean, and African American, to help her clients define for themselves authentic health beyond weight and size and make healthful choices without feeling deprived. Kira has been working as a nutrition expert for 8 years in the food industry and in academia. Internationally, Kira was trained in France and holds a PhD in nutrition science and a master's in food science. Even with all of her training and expertise, you guys, she still felt like an imposter and didn't embrace her message of helping Black women have a healthy relationship with food and empower them to respect their bodies. Why did she struggle? Well, when she first started the Dietitian Boss program, she knew she wanted to talk about cultural foods, and she knew she wanted to talk about specific struggles that Black women are dealing with on a daily basis, and she wanted to share with them the power of food freedom, but she was totally intimidated by all the dietitians and nutritionists out there, and I know you guys can relate as well, who were in the food freedom space or in your particular space. She was so afraid that it took her a while to really take ownership and say to herself, you know what? I know enough to help them. I have invested my time and resources into getting this information. And she has lived experiences and insights that they need. Even with the PhD, she still didn't feel like she was an authority, but she absolutely is. With consistent motivation and wisdom provided to her on the Dietitian Boss group coaching calls, she finally started owning her message. Kira actually noted the irony of it all because she was advocating for Black women to embrace themselves and their cultural foods, but she wasn't even fully embracing her message. But once Kira started posting gutsy Instagram content like this, her clients started showing up for her, liking and commenting on her posts. She was basically using their language and also sharing with them the insights that she has uncovered all through the years of her educating herself. And now her ideal clients are booking her. Since our podcast episode, she's booked over 8 people in her online group coaching program. Dietitian Boss tip: embrace your message by reminding yourself how much you've invested into learning what you know. If you think there are already people sharing your message, it's not possible. There's only one you, and there's plenty of room for you and everyone that you think is your competition to succeed. And you might be saying, yeah, you're crazy, I don't believe you. Let me tell you this straight. You are going to stand out because there's no person on social media that has line for line your same resume, personal journey, and so on. Unless you happen to have a doppelganger or a twin out there who copied everything you did since day one on this earth, you are going to stand out because you have your own tone of voice, you have your unique quirks, your own unique mannerisms. As you guys can see, I have my own too with my hands, and your method of getting someone from point A to point Z is different. And the way you explain things is going to be different than your competition, and so much more. People who dig you will hire you. And guess what? Some people may not vibe with you or dig you, and that's cool. You are here to work with people who want to work with you and vice versa. You're not going to be everyone's friend. You're not going to be everyone's ideal coach, and that's fine. But once you've embraced your message, the next thing you would want to do is conduct some market research interviews to improve your social media content to better speak to those ideal dreamy clients. And we encourage dietitian bosses in our program to not only conduct market research when they start their online private practice, but make sure to repeat the process often. During our podcast interview, Kira said it was the market research process that allowed her to really dig in and learn about her clients. And per the Dietitian Boss method, she used our market research resources and uncovered what their biggest problems are, what they have tried. And Kira, as well as other dietitian bosses, conduct market research by joining Facebook groups, taking notes during sales calls, booking market research calls, looking through Reddit, and so much more. She actually uses the words she hears and uncovers to create this valuable Instagram content that is attractive and viral. On the topic of content creation, I often hear a lot of people say, I don't have time to grow my Instagram because I don't have time to create content, or they have a fixed mindset of, I'm just not great at doing this, or I won't be great at doing this. Instead of having a growth mindset of, I will just learn to create a system to better manage my time, and or seek help from a coach that has a simple method to help me create content so I can post with ease. Dietitian bosses who enroll in the Dietitian Boss method learn our process for content creation and recreation. And after practice, they can literally create a week's worth of content in 2 hours or less. Like all new things, you guys, it's going to take you longer in the beginning, maybe 4 or 5 hours to create graphics and content for the week. But you know what? Even I was there. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing spending 5 hours creating stuff for Instagram? But now I'm like, oh, I can create everything in under 2 hours because I've been through the Dietitian Boss program myself. And let's get this point across, you guys. Everyone has 2 hours. I don't care what you said. You can totally find the time. And this was Kira's struggle as well, so she could totally relate. It used to take her like the entire weekend of struggling. She would spend 2, 4, 5 hours thinking about, oh my God, what can I say? And now it takes her 30 minutes to create graphics for the entire week. For example, one day Kira started creating graphics at 11 p.m. and she was finished at 11:30 p.m. because she still works full time as a nutrition scientist and she does this part time, so she had to do it during that time block. And this is where my next Dietitian Boss tip comes in. Make sure you're scheduling market research a couple of hours every month and block out 3 to 4 hours per week to create graphics and create captions. And the more you do it, the faster you will get, but you just have to get started in order to move faster eventually. And after you've taken ownership of your message, conducted market research, the next thing that you want to do is embrace imperfection on your journey of becoming a dietitian or nutrition boss. So many nutrition professionals are highly analytical. Since being a nutrition professional is Kira's literal daytime full job, she is no different from nutrition professionals like yourself. Kira's coming from a job where there's no room for imperfection. You might get written up for imperfection, so it becomes the standard. And during our podcast interview, Kira said because she is a scientist, her identity is being perfect. So honestly, embracing imperfection was so tough for Kira when she started her online nutrition coaching business. She worked through the Dietitian Boss mindset modules and with the Dietitian Boss coaches to understand that it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to get started. So what does she do now? She just does what she needs to do as her group runs. She doesn't plan her entire program in advance. She makes something, and even if it's not perfect, she looks at it and she will revise it at a later date, but she's getting it out into the universe, because guess what? Your clients aren't going to notice, and they're not going to be as tough on you as you are on yourself. So she treats everything like a research question, right? So you're going to go forward and apply what you think you need, and then if you need to make changes based on client feedback, you do that. And she keeps doing that over and over and over. And by doing that, she's no longer judging herself, because she knows her business is valid. She's done the market research. Her purpose is valid. And now she knows that she just needs to show up and no longer fear to be judged, because hello, she's got it. So hello, confidence. Nice to meet you. Glad you're here. So if you are like Kira and you are nervous about embracing imperfection, I challenge you to do it. Because if you try to take so long to plan out all your modules, all your handouts, you are going to struggle, and you're not really going to take the necessary steps to grow your business. So start where you're at, and honestly, just plan as you go. As things come up, you create it. You don't need to plan things in advance. So if you want to find success like Kira and other dietitian bosses who are running their nutrition group coaching programs, apply what she learned in the Dietitian Boss program. Embrace your message, conduct market research interviews to improve your social media content weekly, embrace imperfection. I hope this video inspired you to start your virtual private nutrition practice today. And if you need support and accountability and resources to get started, the Dietitian Boss team is fully prepared to support you in building your online nutrition private practice from scratch, or help you if you already have an existing practice. And if you need help scaling it to reach more people and make more money like Mark here, we got you covered. To hear more stories of dietitian bosses who are making money, shifting their mindset, and honing in on their niche, be sure to check out this video to learn how Courtney got clear about her niche and her message and grew her private practice. Also watch this video over here to learn how dietitian boss Julia made $4,100 in less than 3 months following the time-tested and proven dietitian boss method. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.